Hello, welcome folks to Land Timber Stream. It is a late night, for me anyway, late night Saturday night stream. Just now getting around to doing a stream, actually, giving an update, blog / update here. Welcome everyone, welcome Bashy Mash to the chat. Good to see you there, man. And yeah, so just want to give a brief update. Nightbot's a little grouchy in this channel. I don't know why. I guess... I don't know. I need to work on that. I made a mental note to hopefully fix that. But yeah, made some really good progress today, despite it being a Saturday. And went out this morning and did a run, did like a 4-mile run, and came back and just, got into it. And I've been working a lot. Took a little time off tonight, hung out with fam, but I've been working on ipv6 a lot. And I got to this section in networklessons.com, and then I kind of diverged a little bit. It's still ipv6. It's still the same topic list. By the way, this NASA this is the NASA image of the day. This is my wallpaper of the day, which is called a coma cluster. It's like over 1,000 galaxies that are magnetically linked to each other. Pretty amazing and mind-blowing. But anyway, yeah. I'm working on that. I'll get into that in a sec. This is going to be a very brief update. But last night, I normally take the night off from streaming, which I did. But I did work on ipv6, and I don't know. I just decided to set up my home network for ipv6. And fortunately, my router and everything, my ISP, they actually do provide a I think it's a 128. So anyway, I have, they NAT me to a publicly routable prefix and host identifier for ipv6. So I'm able to surf the web with ipv6, which is really cool. I just had to add DHCP for v6. I went ahead and added that to the my home router. So now I've got my wireless clients, my wired clients. And I went ahead and updated the DNS so that ipv6 is preferred DNS. At least I have a server that is an ipv6 server, a Google server. Instead of my ISP is what I normally use, my ISP DNS, because it's faster, even than Google or 1.1.1.1. But they were not providing ipv6 like all the quadruple A records. It wasn't working. So I'm like, okay, I'll just get a publicly available DNS server that I know will do, IPv6 is updated with IPv6 records, and that can handle IPv6 queries from IPv6 hosts, right? And it worked after that. So I was stoked. And I posted some things on Twitter and Instagram, like I was trying to figure out some of the tools and the different OSs. Like, I'm just trying to get more familiar with IPv6. What's a better way to do that than configure your home network to support IPv6 and to actually prefer IPv6? So I did that yesterday. Then I ran Wireshark just to kind of validate the traffic. And yeah, I'm getting so much more IPv6 traffic now. It's at least one test I did this morning. It was still like 40% IPv6, 60% IPv4, and that was just a brief test. It wasn't an extended test, but I'm going to continue to do some testing like that, because I guess there's still just a number of sites. Now, they're your main services like Apple, Google, Microsoft. Most of those, if you browse to a site, it is going to be able to resolve the name to an IPv6 address, and you're going to get to them via IPv6. The timeout, I think, on Mac is like 1 second. So if for some reason it takes too long to resolve the IPv6 address, the operating system running dual stack will revert to doing a query for the A record instead of the quadruple A record, right? And then it'll go IPv4. But it's going to prefer IPv6. But there's still quite a few sites that are not, and quite a few, internet services or URLs that are going to resolve first, or only going to resolve to IPv4. So it's an interesting experiment. I'm going to keep playing with that. Also, I got a hankering last night I'm like, okay, I'll play with IPv6 stuff. This is really cool. You know what? I'm going to go set up a server in Azure and see if I can do it that supports IPv6. And that took too long. I think it'll be easier in Google or Amazon, I should say. Amazon seems to have better support for provisioning IPv6, or it should be easier. In Azure, you can do it. It's just not easy, and I still haven't actually fully vetted it. I may do that on stream tomorrow. I now have a MSDN account through my employer, so I have, thankfully, a non-expiring $150 a month to play in Azure. $150 credit that renews each month. So, you know, that's in a year. That's what, let's see, let me do a little bit of math here. So that's like $1,800 a year that I have free credits in Azure. So I'm going to use it. I'm going to experiment with it, play with it. They're encouraging me to do that, obviously, because I'm trying to get better at my cloud skills. But yeah, I provision like a Microsoft Windows Data Center Edition and a load balancer. You cannot, like with VMs and Azure, you can provision a public IP directly to a virtual machine for IPv4. You cannot directly request and assign a static public IPv6, routable IPv6 address to a virtual machine. You cannot do that directly. You can do it through an Azure load balancer. So you can create a load balancer with an IPv4, and it has to be dual stacked. It has to be IPv4 and IPv6 front end, and then you assign a virtual machine on the back end, and the virtual machine has to, obviously the OS has to support IPv6 DHCP. It cannot be statically assigned. So it's an interesting little arrangement, and as a matter of fact, from what I was reading, you're unable to do it using the portal. Like you have to use a template, which I found one. So anyway, more on that tomorrow. In the meantime, I found these workbooks that are here that Tony said he's seen these before and played with them for CCNA and IPv4. I can see that, like a lot of the IPv4 stuff, I did see some in there. It is very CCNA, CCNP maybe level. IPv6, though, is really hit hard in CCIE, and I know it is for a fact in the written, but they have these amazing workbooks out there for IPv6. This is the student version. And what it is I'm working on subnetting right now. I just started going through this, and I'd never seen a graph like this that was this simple, showing really how little of the IPv6 address space has already been assigned. Just this whole block of the first 3 bits 001, global unicast, but other than that, all the other segments are very small slivers of the available yet unassigned IPv6 address space. But the really cool part is what I had not really mastered is now some of this is very simple in the beginning, but the subnetting. And subnetting, of course, is different in IPv6 than it is in IPv4, much different. You don't borrow host bits in IPv6. And of course, you're converting from hexadecimal to binary when you're doing your conversions, or at least that's the easiest way to do it, right? So there's some really good examples, and then what it does is it has a workbook with some problems, and it gives you an example first, and then it expects you to fill out these problems. It is a workbook for sure, and I'm on the developing an address plan. I'm about halfway through this, so I hope to finish this tomorrow. It's actually going to get more difficult because they're going to do, well, I'm on subnetting on the nibble boundary, which is cool, but then this is going to be more difficult. They've got some extra subnetting. Let's see, where is it? beyond the 64 boundary. That's going to be a challenge, I think. And inside the nibble boundaries. So that's a little challenging for me right now, just because I haven't done much with IPv6. And this workbook is really helping me become much more proficient at that. So I'm feeling really good about that. So that's what I've been working on, and also the EUI to 64 conversion. There was another site that I shared. Well, it's not here. You know, converting Ethernet MAC addresses to IPv6 interface IDs. And I pretty much have that down now, which is good. Thanks to some other links I found. And, you know, I've just been grinding on this stuff. IPv6, IPv6, IPv6. And that's my focus right now. So it's been a good day. I plan on continuing that tomorrow. And I may do a little on stream tomorrow. I'll just do, you know, probably just a blog update. Tony says he's going to be doing all day INE Advanced Technology Workbook. So I'll probably be watching him most of the day tomorrow. And then just whenever he finishes, I'll give an update later in the evening on how I'm doing with this workbook, and maybe have some more links and tips for people who want to get better at IPv6. You know, I'm just sharing my journey and what I'm finding helpful. And I tell you, this site, these workbooks are awesome. Oh, I didn't mention. So again, they have two versions of this workbook. They have the student and then the instructor. So the instructors has all the answers. It's the same workbook, but they fill in the answers so you can check them yourself. Isn't that cool? So awesome. I mean, it's like an angel is like, oh, so, you know, I'm trying to learn these subnetting IPv6. I was already getting somewhat decent at it. But this really helped me take it to the next level and get much more proficient at provisioning IPv6 subnets and networks. So anyway, that has been my day. It's been a long day, so I'm going to make this brief. I've been studying, man, today I can't tell you how many hours I've been working on that in those workbooks. But it's been very productive. Hope to be even more productive tomorrow. We got 51 days to go. Also, next weekend, I have some things I have to do family related, so I'm going to be much more limited in terms of not through the week, but going into the week after that. I'm going to be limited, so I'll still, of course, be on Discord, active on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube comments. People leave comments, I reply. You know, I try to stay active on the social networks and in contact with you folks, trying to, wish everybody well and encourage everyone, right, in the community. Let's keep going. Work toward those certs. Let's grind, even on the weekend. Hope your weekend's been productive. And maybe tomorrow, whatever your plans are, work in whatever time you can, that's reasonable for either labbing or studying, even watching other people lab. And, let's help each other with our energy to keep on going towards that cert goal. So thanks so much for tuning in, folks. Appreciate all the support. You can follow me here on Twitch if you're not already. And Site of Origin, hey, good to have you, man. Ignore Nightbot, need to fix that. Great to have you in the stream. Late, you folks are late too. Well, I know you might be in different time zones. It is 1 minute for midnight here in Eastern Time Zone, U.S. But thanks so much for tuning in, guys, hanging out. 11 p.m., gotcha. So late, appreciate you guys. Got networking on your minds this late at night. I love it. I love it. That's giving me a little energy boost. Maybe I'll do a little more of my workbook before I hit the sack. So, yeah, Bashy Mashy, also midnight. Studying all day, took a pizza break. Yeah, man. I actually tried not to wake up anyone and warmed up a little bit of coffee so I could do the rest of the stream and maybe do a little more workbook. So, great. Love the energy, guys and gals. So, that rubs off on me. Hopefully that'll help you all as well. And we shall see y'all tomorrow right here on the Land Tamer stream. Thanks for hanging out, folks. See you then.